My head got that request off the old Twitter. Good morning, everyone. Who sent that in? Husker Fanko 32, another weird Twitter name. Husker Fanko 32. Thanks for the request for the song today.
I woke up. All I've been thinking of is "Harden My Heart" by Quarterflash. That fucking dumb song.
We should have played it.
No, I didn't want to. I didn't think of it till just now. It's been in my head literally since the moment I woke up.
I'm gonna harden my heart.
I'm gonna swallow my tears. Just that part.
Why?
I don't know.
Did you hear it somewhere?
Either that or I dreamt of something, or
right.
Who knows?
Quarterflash had, I think, like 2 really good songs back in the day.
That's the only one I know.
You're gonna have to play that E-Rock a little later on. What was the other Quarterflash song? Do you know offhand? They did have another one.
I don't know.
But you're just singing that and humming that in your head?
No, it just it's been going back and forth on a loop. That little section of it.
You got some guilty pleasures, Jim Norton.
Yeah, I mean, I like all kinds of weird little fruity music and stuff and activities. Right. But I happen to like that one years and years and years ago. But now it's annoying. Anything on a loop in your head is annoying.
Of course. What are the other 2 songs?
There's "Take Me to Heart."
Yeah, "Take Me to Heart" was a biggie.
There's "Find Another Fool."
"Find Another Fool," I think, was the drop-off song. I think the other 2 were really big, and then the third, not so much. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this stupid breast story out of Chicago. Are you obsessed with this one, Sam Roberts? Welcome back, by the way, with the new haircut.
Thank you.
A pair of Chicago sports radio blowhards, they're calling them. I guess there's a girl up there doing sports. I don't even know if she's good at what she does. I have no idea. These guys were under the opinion that she wasn't that good at her job, but she had giant titties.
Which, looking at photographic evidence, does appear to add up.
Right. And so they made a comment about her giant breasts, and then everyone attacked them on Twitter, and then she got involved herself, and then now they're apologizing for saying that. They're sports guys. What are they supposed to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this story at all.
They just made an offhanded remark about her giant boobs. It wasn't even a horrible remark.
They used the word boobs.
Yeah, they went with boobs.
And of course,
tits makes it crass.
A little bit, but not even that bad.
Or titties makes it crass. But if you say giant boobs, you're kind of keeping it a little safe and childish.
She might be a very good sports person. I don't know. But do you really look at her and go, that's why they hired her, because she's so gifted with those giant tits?
Right.
And great body. I'm not saying you can't be, but that's what the news does. They always hire these smoking hot girls.
Yeah, let's all make believe they don't hire smoking hot girls over talent. They just do.
They always do.
There's only a couple monsters on TV that were hired because they're so brilliant and smart. But in general, they always look for a girl that has a nice body, a nice face. It's just how it is in that business.
Fat girl could give you the weather just as accurately as whatever this girl does.
Sports, I think. Yeah, you could get a fat girl to do sports easily.
I'd rather hear sports from a fat girl.
Yeah.
I'd have more faith in it. She probably was probably a linebacker. I'd rather hear from her.
So they hire these sexy women, knowing they're sexy, knowing they're going to wear some tight outfits, and then you call them out on it, and then then they're looking at you like, whoa, what the fuck you doing? We didn't hire her for her giant boobs.
The only thing I'll say, and Travis said this before the show, is that she's not showing cleavage. When you have big giant tits, the only thing you can do is show them off on purpose or just cover them. And she is covering them.
Well, not in this. I mean, in this shot, she certainly is covering it. But if you Google image her, there's cleavage for days. There's a lot of pictures of her and her cleavage. A pair of Chicago sports radio blowhards were trying to atone after their chauvinistic banter about a sports TV reporter's on-air persona devolved into a rumination about her breasts. Dan Bernstein and Matt Spiegel, hosts of The Score, both admitted they were in the wrong over the Twitter kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle is a word that people use, and their fingers should be broken for it.
Over the Twitter, I will never use the word kerfuffle.
The kerfuffle. There's a little kerfuffle. It's a hubbub.
A little hubbub. That ambush. Comcast Sportsnet Chicago reporter Ayanna, it looks like Ayanna Crystal. Spiegel started the doomed conversation by writing last week that Ayanna Crystal makes me uncomfortable. He tweeted, I feel how hard she's trying and end up awkwardly rooting for her to finish cleanly. So they don't think she's that good at her job.
Correct.
And they're hinting, I believe, that she was hired because she's hot. There's a lot of broads on local TV here in New York that were hired because they're hot. That's when colleague Bernstein stepped in with his own take on her performance. I have no rooting interest in her work, but enjoy her giant boobs, he replied to the tweet. The first of 2 references he made to the sportscaster's anatomy. Second, Spiegel wrote in a reply on his Twitter. Twitter users instantly attacked both bozos, with some calling for their dismissal. They're sports guys. Sports guys can't even be sports guys anymore.
It's terrifying how little you can say.
Right.
Like, that was like, when I saw that tweet, I have no rooting interest in her, but enjoy her giant boobs.
Sure.
I was like, rolled my eyes. What a cornball. Like, what a dad.
Exactly.
It is a cornball
trying
tweet.
to be edgy joke.
Yeah.
But it's honest, though.
But it's honest and it's corny enough that it's just like, what do you roll your eyes and you move on with your day?
I think they should have went all in and pretty much said what we're saying here today, that a lot of these women are hired because they're hot. We all know that. We all know that. There's like maybe 2 or 3 on TV that are monsters. But they're so damn good at what they're saying and doing that the people don't care that they're not former beauties.
Yeah, I mean,
Beauty contestants. There's a lot going on here in terms of institutionalized misogyny and female visibility. Misogyny, and female visibility, which you should be considerate of. One person wrote under the handle Zoe Claire, I hope you criticize male reporters as strongly and as publicly. That's completely acceptable.
But they weren't even criticizing her. They're just kind of goofing around. That's not even criticizing her.
and by the way, like, Don Lemon gets shit on every day for being a lousy anchor. You know what I mean? Guys that are bad on television, of course they get shit on.
So why is he on TV if he's a lousy anchor then?
I don't know. He fits
has
the
nice
suit, I guess.
buns.
Yeah.
He has
Pants look good.
He has juicy buns. The cyberbullying.
Yeah, that's the word
Wow.
everyone uses when you say something, even if it's inappropriate or there are times where it's mean.
Right.
It's not always bullying if someone's a dick to you.
Yeah, she is dumb. I think she's dumb if she thinks that's cyberbullying. Progress has been made for women in sports, but we still have a long way to go. I don't think there's a lot of progress in sports for women at this point. I think a lot of them are hired because they're very good looking and very good to look at. Sideline reporters, are you kidding me? They're all just hot women.
Pam Oliver's.
Well, there are exceptions.
Yeah.
Well, she's all right, though. She's just all right.
Yeah.
They could go way worse than Pam Oliver.
Pam's rough.
This incident serves as a gross reminder that women continue to fight every day to be treated equally. She wrote Friday, my female colleagues share my frustration in knowing the sports industry presents us with challenges of equality in an arena that is often filled with misogyny.
But even if that's true, how is that? I'm not putting my thoughts into proper form here. If 2 women said, "Well, that guy's got cute buns,"
And they do.
of course they do.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Right.
It's not a big deal. If they were saying she's terrible, why do they have women doing this? But just 2 dumbbells commenting on your boobs is
Right.
not bullying.
Right. No, not at all. That's, of course guys are going to comment on your boobs. Especially if you got cleavage shots all over the internet. Her Twitter profile picture shows off her boobs nicely.
Yeah.
Her hands are actually behind her back. She knows what that means.
It
pushes them forward a little more.
It's not a positive thing to do. They weren't being nice.
Right.
But there's a big difference. There has to be a way that not everybody is nice all the time. You have to be able to say something without it being a Twitter outrage
Or a threat to your job.
Yeah.
Right. This doesn't categorize as that. You could have a problem with this. I'm sure some people will be like, well, I'm not going to listen to that show anymore, and that's fine. But there's no way enough people would stop listening to their show based on the fact that the guy said boobs
On a sports talk show.
on a sports talk show that it would affect anything advertising-wise.
Right. She continues, sexual harassment is never acceptable. And as journalists, we are all responsible for setting a better example when utilizing a platform that reaches the masses. Both men, in a panic, obviously apologized on their shows the day after their dirty diatribe. We should get that audio. I think they have it out there somewhere. Spiegel later posted an apology letter.
Yeah.
Titled On Dealing with Ugliness. I can acknowledge that the culture I work in is often not welcoming to women. and is sometimes downright exclusionary, mean, and objectifying. I could try to be a healthy part of the conversation. You're a sports guy, relax. But then again, they're panicking and trying to save their jobs.
They're worried about getting fired.
And not part of the problem, he wrote. I have sexualized perverse human thoughts like just about everyone else. I can be more considerate when they rise to the surface, and I can stay out of the sewer when it rises towards me.
There is no perverse human thought in this entire scenario.
Of course
he said,
not.
Looky, she got big boobies.
Right.
It's childlike and not in a charming way. She said boobs, and who cares?
It's very childlike.
You could have tweeted that out if you could have spelled properly at 6 years old.
Right.
That thought is what enters into the mind of a 6-year-old.
It's an uninteresting, childish thought.
Sure.
Yes. It's sexuality hasn't even been created in your head yet when you have that observation.
It's a little dummy standing there waving like, boobs!
Exactly.
Who cares?
Squeezy.
Yeah.
Bernstein apologized too, fessing up that I'm an idiot. My tweet was childish. My tweet was crass and unnecessary. And I'm sorry I dragged an innocent person into it who's doing a job, he said on his show. I made an observation I shouldn't have made.
She's got a job where she's on television. So she's allowed to have a problem with some guy. This guy, I mean, the guys are idiots, obviously, because they're childish people. But she's allowed to be like, those guys are assholes. And they're allowed to be like, look, that lady on the news has big boobies.
Yeah, why
we
don't
just
they
keep living in our world.
Instead of pretending she was bullied, respond.
Right.
Say something just about them being asses. She can certainly respond and go, fuck these guys, or however she wants to say it. But don't automatically go, I've been bullied and victim.
Yeah.
Shut up.
As a man, it's very hard to ignore big boobs.
Exactly. How do you not jerk off looking at them? It's just, don't take the train, lady.
Right. It's just hard to just make believe you're not seeing that in front of
Exactly.
you.
Big, fat, juicy, heavy tits.
Right.
I want to suckle on them angrily. I want to suckle on them angrily. I'll say for the record, she is a lovely. I don't know if she's any good at her job, but I want to hold her breasts and kiss them until the cows come home. I want to smooch with her breasts. I want to give them a nice, big, wet, loud kiss.
Leslie. Leslie's a little mad, I think.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Leslie.
Hello, Leslie.
Hi, I'm driving in my car to work, and I'm feeling the victimization as I drive.
Why?
Just joking, I think.
Oh, okay. Jesus, you scared me for a second, Leslie. Do you understand our point, though? A lot of these women are hired because they're very good looking. She's gone already? Leslie, that's all you wanted to say?
She's cracking herself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they haven't made strides. Women haven't made strides.
What do you mean?
In broadcasting.
They're good women.
TV. There's some good ones, but there's a lot of women that are on TV because they're really good to look at.
Well, I mean, TV is a visual medium, so people don't get on TV with regular jobs if they're not on some level attractive.
But they should be honest about that, though. You're right, but then they would never say that.
They wouldn't say that. But I mean, it's the same way with guys. You don't hire ugly dudes to do stuff.
All right, look, if you got two women for a job, let's go. You want to go anchor? Let's go anchor, which is like the biggest job in local TV, right?
That's right.
So you got one woman that is hot as shit, and she's okay. She's all right. She could read pretty well and keep the conversation going, all right? Then you got an ugly, very much older woman that is way better. Who are you hiring?
The chick, the first one.
Of course, and we all know that. We all know that. You don't see an old female anchor, for the most part, on local TV.
Right, but you will see older men or heavier men. You do. Not fat guys, but you'll see you'll see fat, jolly weather guys.
That's true.
Hey, look at him. Oh, Kurt's going to do the weather.
Right.
You know me, I had a meatball sub.
Right.
Oh, Kurt.
Right.
You're saying nobody would hire the female equivalent of Joe Nolan?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
and we all know that.
That is the...
So then these guys pointed out, sort of, they weren't brave enough to really have a real good, deep conversation about it, and now they're in trouble. They know why she's on TV, and honestly, we don't know how good she is at her job, so we should be careful there. Maybe she is great, I don't know. But I would assume she's not, because I just know how it is here in New York, that they hire a lot of women that look really good on TV.
most of them are fine, too. Like, I don't see any of them and go like, oh, they stink.
Right.
But then again, I don't see a great one and go, she's great either.
Right.
Like Barbara Walters is really amazing at what she, but I don't watch her and go like, oh my god, Barbara or Katie Couric. I didn't give a fuck about Katie Couric when she was doing it.
She was hired at first because she was just a cute little, thing.
But I mean, as the news anchor,
and then she proved herself. But
she's very good at it, and it didn't stand out to me much more than someone who's not great. Like they're all kind of the same to me, all the anchors, like the males. I don't see any anchor and go, that guy's amazing.
Right. The networks have decided that they want someone, except for Pam Oliver, because Jimmy's not a huge fan of her looks.
No, she's pretty good,
but she's not ugly either. But they decided a long time ago to have a hot female on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And if you're like an ex-jock, for the most part, you're not going to get that job. And I feel like you probably have more knowledge about the game in general than some hot-looking, female.
I would respect it if they hired, let's be honest, these fucking old lacrosse-playing women or girls who, may have a young lady friend, gym teachers,
right?
Girls who are not as good-looking, but we're much more athletic and we're involved in the sports. I'd much rather hear from her, honestly, about when my team is losing 17-3 at halftime. I don't want to look at a hot girl going, and they need to kick more field goals. Shut up. Get an ugly. I would rather, honestly, in that moment, I would rather watch an ugly girl who I know can fucking throw an overhand pitch.
Right. And Pam Oliver was hot in the day.
Was she?
Yeah, look at these Google images coming up. She wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, she's not ugly.
I don't think she's that bad, actually.
I wouldn't exactly consider her eye candy, though.
Yeah, well,
I want to apologize for my insensitivity judging people's appearance although everyone does it.
Right. Let's go to, wow, the phones are lit. Chew in Boston, go ahead.
Oh, come on, what is religion is not important.
Hey guys, good conversation. Yeah, I just want to point out in these fucking articles, they always bring up misogyny, and none of this is misogyny at all, but they take it as an opportunity to lump in hatred. That's what misogyny is, hatred towards women. And they always, anytime you make a comment about a woman, they lump in misogyny like it's, like they go hand in hand, and it drives me fucking nuts. And it's really not even chauvinistic either, and it's certainly not cyberbullying. So really, what is it? Like, this article is just fucking, it's all inaccuracies. And it's not just wordplay, it's like manipulation, you know what I mean?
Everyone is just lying in this story. I hope she's smart enough to know that it's not cyberbullying. I hope the guys are smart enough to know they didn't do anything wrong as sports talk guys.
Not everyone is lying in the story. She does have big boobs.
Yes. She has giant boobs.
And she was annoyed.
So, yeah, she can't, and she's allowed to be annoyed. But don't push it further than what it really is.
I just don't like the victimizing tone of it. It's like she came out and goes, these guys are asses and their show stinks. I would respect that. Like, yeah, they said something about her and she smashed them.
Right.
But don't come off like you've been victimized by a bunch of guys jerking off in your bay window. It's just two dumb sports guys talking about your big boobs.
And it's not like it's not like an NPR show or any of that shit either. Right. It's sports talk. You're supposed to be kind of an idiot at times.
Yeah. Local sports talk with two guys who are grown men that say boobs.
Yeah, big hooters.
Look at the cans on her.
I love those melons.
Yeah.
See, there's no misogyny there. That's
all right.
No, but look, is it a little a sexist comment? Yes, but so what? It's like we all make sexist jokes that
Yeah, and I wish that they would write that in the article, like, hey, a couple of guys made some sexist comments, rather than be like, it's fucking misogyny. It's not fucking misogyny.
Yeah, it's not based on hatred, right?
All right, brother.
You're adorable.
Thank you. Let's get a few more on. Vito in New York, go ahead.
Hey, it's not. I mean, it's in every sector right now. I've been in my industry for over 25 years, and I've.
What do you do? He's a pornographer.
Yeah, what do you do?
Telecommunications. I'm an engineer, right?
Oh.
And it's bleeding edge technology. And you would have these sales reps that came in. They were these old engineers. They were able to educate you, show you, how this stuff works. And now today, and I'm talking about Fortune 100 companies, have these women that they don't even know what these things do, but I will buy anything off of her. Like, here's the requisition. You fill it out, and you tell me what I need. Like the other guy won't even give him the time of day. This girl calls, when are you coming? Let's go.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And it seems like they hired her because she is very attractive. And will at least get your attention. She'll at least get a meeting with you.
Always. always.
I fully understand it, man.
But they don't know how the shit works. You know, do you want it in red? Do you want it in purple? It doesn't come that way.
Right. Very good. Thank you, sir. I got to keep going here because there's a whole bunch of people calling. Ed in North Carolina, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, there's an expression. They got a face made for radio.
Hey, buddy.
That's why the good-looking ones are on TV and people like, oh, I don't know, are on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Are you implying, sir, that our attractiveness level has kind of doomed us to this medium?
Absolutely. Hey, can I say one more thing and then I'll go?
Sure.
Yes.
I've talked to you guys a couple times. The last time Paul Williams was on, I was the guy that played golf with him, reminded him about the Wizard of Bid,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Oh, we were actually talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you really?
No.
No.
Damn it. Because I listen to it twice. Anyway, when that thing comes a movie, I want to go to the premiere. I'll call you back and we'll get together.
You should have told when he said, "Can I say one more thing?" You should have
Yeah,
been like,
I know.
"Absolutely not."
I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
cute.
all right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Charlotte in South Carolina.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hi.
Charlotte.
Hey, I just wanted to chime in and give a little female perspective here. I totally agree. I don't think it was cyberbullying. That's going a little bit far, but I guess I could see where she was saying where the first comment they make is about her boobs. Just makes it that much harder for her to prove herself if she is good at her job or, you know, if she does have aspirations to try to go past the pretty face mentality. It just makes it that much harder because now the only thing she's been identified by peers and her colleague is, oh, she's just another pretty face or just another big set of boobs.
Yeah, I understand that, but kind of, let's be honest, they probably hired her because she looks so good. And again, I'm not even saying she's not talented.
I want it like this. I won't say that's the only reason they hired her because there's a lot of industries that hire people because they look good, but you have to still be able to do the job. So there's beautiful people all over the world.
You're talking to four of them.
That are 11s on a scale of 1 to 7, but if they can't rub two pennies together to make a sale, they'll never get the job. So being pretty, I say, is part of it, but she still has to be clearly competent to have beaten out other people for that.
I think it's a big part of it, and I think if there's someone that is not as pretty that is actually more talented on camera, that they're definitely going to go with the hot one. They're definitely going to do it.
Yeah,
we see it all the time.
What's the name of that dude we used to watch years ago on Fox? On Fox, the weatherman, Mike Woods.
Oh, Mike Woods.
He
right.
was always terrible, but he just looked really good in his suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he stayed. He kept his job.
And he's still
stayed,
there.
yeah.
in
Yeah,
his
he is.
tight suits.
Because he kind of looks like The Rock.
Yeah. So, Jim Florentine, good morning.
What's going on? If you watch the NFL Network or the MLB channel, the baseball channel,
Yeah.
there's no chick that works there that's under like an 8 3/4.
Of course, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, everyone is hot. Yeah, but they know their stuff. It's not like they're just idiots up there. Just that you could tell, like that. You know, they hire them. They make sure they know their sports.
But there's going to come a time when it doesn't matter that they know their shit. They're going to be too old to be on camera, and they're going to get rid of them.
Yeah,
that's just how it's going to work. But
I mean, ESPN still holds out with Hannah Storm,
right,
who's been there for years, and Susie Colbert's getting a little older and stuff like that. But they hang on to them. But they're
rare.
Yeah,
They're
they
rare.
definitely are.
Older women are rare on
Erin
TV.
Andrews is in trouble because she was the hot one for a while, and now every other network is hiring way hotter chicks than her.
Right.
So she's got to step it up a notch.
With her, though, the whole scandal, I think, made her kind of that whole guy creeps fucking taking pictures of her, kind of put her in everybody's mind. And now there's something with Erin Andrews. I don't see them dumping her.
No, they won't dump her. I'm just saying there's more competition now.
Yeah.
She was the hottest one by far.
Yeah.
And then half the time she puts her hair up in a bun. It's like, stop, come on.
You got to keep that hair down.
You got to keep it down. And then she sees the competition next week. She has it down. Like,
She has
all
it
right,
down,
she knows what
right?
she's doing.
Well, there you go. I mean, this shit is obviously happening. It's so obvious to everybody.
If you have giant tits, maybe that's annoying after a while. Like, I know some girls with big tits are like, ugh, I fucking hate them enough already. And she's not wearing anything that's like, again, she's not wearing like low cut cleavage. What is she gonna do? She has to wear some clothes.
Right. Google image her though. She's got a lot of cleavage shots from the sidelines too. By the way, I think I saw one from a basketball game. Yeah. There's I mean, that shows an awful lot.
No, that's just like a regular professional.
Yeah, well,
She's got a sweater on.
She wasn't bullied, but she,
is it regular? Let's see Candy Crowley in that same outfit and see how regular that is.
Yeah.
It definitely leans toward conservative sexy. So these sports guys are in trouble for saying that she has giant boobs.
Ooh,
I know.
it's crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
You know what? To be mad at the person who hired her, because you see somebody on camera and go, do they look good on camera? Whether they got twitches or whatever. When you see those big tits,
right?
Then you got to go, all right, this is what everybody's going to be staring at. There's obviously going to be a problem at some point.
Right.
It's going to be distracting to the listener.
Right.
We might lose women because they're going to say we just hired her because she has these huge tits and wears tight dresses.
Right.
So blame them.
Let's see. Let's say hi to Paul in Chicago. Paul, good morning.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey, just to let you know, she's just a walking pair of tits. She's a dummy. She's dumb. She is not good at her job.
Are you from Chicago?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
So this is you saying this, because honestly, I've never heard her, but you're saying she's not that great at her job.
Not one bit. She's a gorgeous woman, big pair of boobs, but other than that, I mean, if you can't talk off a telestrator without stuttering...
Well, do we have
wrong.
video of her? Let's find video. There's got to be video of her.
Yeah, we'll find a clip of her and decide in a 25-second clip how great she is.
I mean,
Luckily, the judge, jury, and executioners are here. So,
in a 25-second clip, find a 25-second clip so we can see how great she is.
How about this one? This is perfect.
Okay.
This is a something called the Daily Heat Wave.
She even has a segment called the Daily Heat Wave.
It's from May of 2013. Appears to be recorded on a cell phone.
All right.
So, and it's 38 seconds long.
Perfect. Let's judge her.
Yeah.
And her boobs are really big in
Yep.
that white top.
Yeah. Although
Very
she's not
big.
wearing anything that shows them extra other than just a tank top.
All right.
I'm Ayanna Crystal with your Daily Heat Wave. Well, the Miami Heat got back to the grind here today at the American Airlines Arena as they get ready to face the Indiana Pacers in Game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, today they said practice was more like a training camp because Coach Spoelstra said the Pacers are a dangerous team with their balance, and they know they're already going to bring that physicality. Now, Dwayne Wade says even though they lack the physicality in height, they bring that physicality
she has
and
no charisma.
determination to win a game. So they said they'll be ready for Wednesday in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm Ayanna Crystal, and that's your Daily Heat Wave.
If I didn't know any better, I would think I'm watching like college TV, like a college TV broadcast.
I just hate the inflection that they all use.
Right, there's no real...
Very robotic.
Huh?
She sounds very robotic.
Yes, she does. That's what I heard in there.
But that's boring stuff she's saying. That, like anyone talking about the game coming up and when Dwayne Wade's got to cover, it's just fucking boring.
I wonder if she knew what she was even saying.
Yeah, did she write that, or is that?
Or is she just reading something? I don't know. Thank you, Paul. Let's say hi to Stu in New York. Stu.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey.
Hi.
The Channel 12 news crew, they're gorgeous in New York, especially the blonde, her teeth. Drive me fucking nuts.
Teeth.
her teeth drive you nuts?
That's it. I'm sure he watches them. They drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Go to the dentist. I don't get it.
I thought you were going to say that they're all kind of ugly.
No, they are, but then I went another way with it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. So they all had to apologize.
They had what? They were sports radio guys?
Yeah. They're basically saying she's not talented, but she has giant boobs.
Yeah, they say they don't even care about what she's doing. They just like looking at her big boobs. Like,
that's an honest statement. Especially if you're doing sports talk.
Couldn't she just come back and say something? Like, just it's cyberbullying.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, and sexual harassment.
If you just quoted the tweet and wrote under it, "Wow, how charming," you'd kind of have it all settled there.
Yeah, just
you'd point out that the guy was an idiot.
Make fun of them, yeah.
Right.
And we'd all go, ha, and then we'd move on.
Right.
Yeah.
We all wouldn't do anything because it wouldn't be a national story because it's not.
I don't even know these guys for real, but I feel like I got to stick up for them.
She should have said something fun like, hey guys, yeah, I know I have big boobs, but you'll never suck them. And then posted a picture of her hiney.
Right.
That would have won.
Hashtag titty fuck.
Yeah,
that would have
you want
calmed
to titty fuck these.
Yeah.
That would have calmed everyone down.
Look, she can wear bigger outfits to cover up that huge rack if she really
But
wanted to.
They don't want her to. They're not officially telling her to wear tight stuff, but everyone understands. She understands. Her bosses understand.
I don't even mind if she shows it because guys, guys dress to look their best, and that's fine. If a guy's in good shape, he wears tight clothes. I don't care if she shows her big tits.
Glenn in Jersey, go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Glenny.
You got to Google Sheena Parveen. She's the weather lady in Philadelphia.
Can you Google that?
Hang on, we got.
The clothes on her are painted on.
Painted on. I think I know who you're talking about, by the way. I don't know. I think it's the one I know. I just don't know her by name. We'll look her up after Morgan Spurlock, who's outside the studio. He's coming by for a quick one with Derek Gaines. And then we got a lady, Lisa, if you could call back in a little while. She goes, I have big boobs, and it's definitely an asset. You're hearing it from the woman herself.
Email your comments and a photo to therealJimNorton@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll discuss your tits in depth.
Yeah, we got to decide if they are big enough to actually be on the radio with us.
Yes.
Morgan, get your ass in here. Where is he? Roland's opening the door. We got Morgan for like 20 minutes. Our pal. Hey, Dirk. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
What's up, Morgan?
Hi, Morgan.
Good to see you.
How are you?
How you doing?
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
What's up, Dirk?
How are you, man?
All right. Go over there. Yeah, we'll shake later. Morgan with another goddamn show. What's up with you, man? Save some shows for other people.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, you're very prolific.
Oh, my God. Every time I turn around, you got another project. I can't keep up with all of them.
Well, if I was, if I was just going to sit around, I wouldn't be able to, pay my rent or eat. I got an expensive kid. You know how it is.
Right. I was going to talk to you about the honeybees from your other show, but
I know that was a good episode.
I thought they were going away because of the cell towers. Did you hear that?
I heard that, but there's a lot more other things that may have some sort of a small impact on the bees, but there's bigger problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's more the pesticides, right?
Pesticides is a huge one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could talk about that another day. But
I'll talk about that next time when I come back.
It's the
with
CNN,
my new show.
It's the CNN show. I loved it. The honeybee episode I really, really liked a lot. But anyway.
Awesome.
Welcome, Derek.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So what's the show about, guys?
For some reason we thought you were in tomorrow, and I haven't seen the show.
Yeah,
it launches today on AOL.
Okay.
And it'll be out everywhere today. There's 4 episodes launching on AOL Originals today. And it's a show called Connected. It's an Israeli format. The show launched in Israel about 6-7 years ago. They've done 8 seasons there, and now they've sold it around the world. It's about 20 different territories. And when they came to me and said, would I be interested in bringing it to the States, I watched the show, and I was so mad when I watched the Israeli episode because it's such a simple idea.
Right.
It's one of those things where I was like, God damn it, why didn't I think of this show? It's so easy.
Right.
And what the show is we follow 6 New Yorkers. We give them cameras. They basically shoot their own lives.
Right.
For 6 months, and then we edit it down into a show. And
6 months, wow.
6 months, yeah. It's a huge commitment, and
that's smart.
So you got to sit through 6 months of footage.
That's right. Wow. No, the ratio on that show sucks. It's terrible. It's like 2,000 to 1.
Right.
There's like 4,000 hours of footage.
But that's how you get the good stuff.
That's how you get the good stuff. That's exactly.
You got to
right.
hang in there and really film for a long time.
That's right.
That's why reality shows have they're starting to suck because they don't want to sit there and really spend the time.
That's right.
I'm getting pointed at, right?
That's right. You're
I
right.
agree. Yeah.
The old Real Worlds, they hung out for almost a year to get a show, and now supposedly they're barely there a month.
They're knocking that stuff out in like weeks. Yeah, it's terrible.
4 or 5 weeks tops.
That's right. And what's happened in television, which I think is terrible, is that if you look at the scripted TV, you look at what's happened on Showtime, HBO, Netflix. Like there's so many good shows, and what they've done is they've forced every other network to kind of raise the bar. Like every TV show now, it doesn't matter what network you're on, TNT, USA, TBS. Every single one of those networks has like a great scripted show. Like they have something that is like really a par beyond par of scripted television. And that just hasn't happened with nonfiction TV. It hasn't happened with reality TV, doc television. And what this show does a great job of doing, I think, is really raise that bar. I think this show takes it to such a different level, and it's so smart. It's so good.
In what way? Taking it to a different level.
Just because I think it's so honest. Like you talk about, you hear all these people talk about authenticity, and I think this show is so real and so pure and so authentic and just honest. It just doesn't happen.
How long are the episodes?
They're each they're each less than half hours.
Okay.
Is there sister reality going on?
There's not. It's one of those things where ultimately these people are just basically shooting their lives. There's no producers on set.
Right.
There's no other crew. I mean, it's awesome.
So you actually have to like do some research and find interesting people.
Like
instead instead of throwing a celebrity in and going, well, we'll write your interesting life for you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I had to do a 45-minute just conversation with the casting director in order just to get the camera to test.
Right.
So when you go test, you just got to go. Well, I'm a stand-up. That's why I'm a big fan of Jimmy. Big fan of the show. And Jimmy, I brought you up a few times at the stand.
Yeah.
I brought you up a few times at the stand when I was hosting. But yeah, I showed the path from going from a couch surfer to an actual working comic in New York. So I lucked out. The show came out to where when I was going from shit to less shit.
Right.
So it was
I like how you said that.
Yeah,
you
that's
go from
about
shit
right.
to less shit. Like, I'm not gonna say I went from shit to gold. Nah, comedy. It's
Just
shit
less shit.
sandwich to just regular sandwich with no shit in the middle. So therefore, I appreciate Morgan for letting me, rock.
So that's your story.
That's my story. The guy that went from the couch surfer that had to go back and forth from Jersey to New York trying to stay relevant.
Right.
And just getting
Would
on
you use
here.
a GoPro? Or you just filmed that?
No, it was just you film or you get they had car rigs for us that you can stick it up in your windshield.
It's just like a little Sony handheld, like a little flip cam, with the window that comes out so you can see yourself on it.
Right.
And it's awesome, and Derek's story's great because I love his mom. His mom is also in the show, and Derek lived with his mom when basically the show begins, and is still living at his mom's house in Jersey. And what's awesome about this show, and you think about, I think this is an extension beyond like reality shows. Is it's not just Derek signing up; it's like all these other people's families that have to agree to like be a part of this because I mean you're like shooting your life, and they're in there, and there's plenty of people that are like, listen, I want nothing to do with this. I don't want you. You can go shoot yourself all day long. I don't want to be in this.
My mom was cool, but my dad was real shy to the camera. He was like, "Yeah, keep that shit out my face."
You
got it, Pop.
He didn't want to be on it.
He didn't want to be on it. He didn't really like. So, certain people want to be on camera, and certain people don't. It was wild, just the experience of like, hey man, I'm just trying to shoot this to let you know what's going on, and they go like, this is real. There ain't no script. I'm like, nah, you just throw it out there, and they'll chop it up.
Were you holding the camera, or was it always mounted?
I held the camera most of the time. If I had to mount it, it was because I had to shoot some exterior of me leaving the club or coming in. So what they would do, they give you critiques on how to tell a story. So it was never a script.
Yeah, we give
just
notes.
Like,
we give
notes. Just notes. Like, all right, just set it up to where we can make it something. So if you're going to the comedy club, film you going to the comedy club, walk in, So
and don't shake the camera too much.
And don't shake the camera too much. So you're your own director. So that's pretty wild.
Oh, that's cool.
To be your own director.
So it's pretty much just you.
Yeah.
You don't give them any guys.
Yeah, no, we get, like when they start bringing the footage in, we start giving notes on what they've done and how they can shoot it better. But we're not. We tell them the things that they should do, like things they should ask themselves. Because what you want them to get in the habit of using the camera as basically like a therapist. You want them to be able to. And what happens is over the course of shooting the show, where in like the first 10 days, you just get shit that you're never going to use because people are on the camera and they think that like now they got to perform, and so they go, look at me, here I am at the comedy club or wherever, here I am talking to my wife, but what happens after that, after like 10 days, 2 weeks, is people start telling this camera things that you would never tell anybody. They talk to this thing like it is a therapist.
How often were you getting footage? It just made. I'm so stupid. I'm thinking 6 months worth of editing, but obviously you're getting it as you go. So how often would you guys give footage to?
Every week I had to do a drop off.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And some people would shoot every day, and some people would shoot, every other day. Depends on what was happening.
And I would assume as you're dropping off this footage, you're going, wait a minute, I like that one thing you did. Let's explore that a little bit, right?
That's right.
Things like that. Okay.
Right. What other jobs besides Derek being a comic do the other people have?
We got a bunch of different folks. We've got two dads in there. These two guys who basically live in Brooklyn who
raising two daughters.
Yeah, who are raising two daughters. We've got. And for me, that's a great story. With these two dads. And then there's a guy named Jonathan Bricklin who owns the ping pong club Spin here in New York City. Who his girlfriend just happens to also be Susan Sarandon, which is amazing because now she's like this bit player in this show. Is this guy's girlfriend. We've got Nina, who she and her husband are trying to have a baby over the course of this show. He has a restaurant, and they have a great. Their whole storyline is fantastic. There's Lori Levine, who's a publicist. She's basically getting into a relationship with a man who's got 4 stepkids. Wow. And
4 kids. And she's making them her stepkids.
That's right. She's going to be the
stepkids. Don't like her at first, and then they go through the marriage and all that. So everybody has a process.
Right.
So there's a story with each, and it all comes together So you see how each person is progressing, but everybody films their own shit. So
Yeah, it's cool.
I wish you would slow down, Morgan, because I watch everything you do. You're one of those guys. I just know it's going to be good, quality stuff. So
I appreciate that.
Now I got to watch this series.
Yeah.
And AOL is really starting to.
They're stepping up.
They're stepping up with
stepping up.
original programming.
They are working with Dermot.
With
McCormick
Dermot,
over there.
yeah, with
He's
Dermot.
a great dude.
He's
man.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He and I drank many whiskeys last night
He's
at the
awesome.
premiere.
Yeah,
Really cool.
he's out of his mind.
He's a proper Irishman.
How did you?
That's why I sound like Kathleen Turner today.
How did you cast this? Like, how did you put out a casting for regular people who aren't actors? How did they even see the casting?
It's one of those things where you start going through casting directors. Like we had a casting agent who started looking for people, but that's usually not the best way to find folks. So many of the cast came down to I know someone you have to meet, or it's like literally it was someone saying I saw this comedian last night at this club, or it was a friend of mine who I've known Jonathan Bricklin, the guy who owns Spin, for years, and I never even thought about him as a possibility because we wanted to find somebody who like either owned a restaurant or somebody who or like a comedian, somebody who when we're going to bed, this guy's like going to work.
But what's his story though? Because you're right. It seems like on paper it'd be like who cares? He owns a ping pong club.
Oh, he's a writer.
He just wrote a book as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
but he's overshadowed by his girlfriend. And so it's kind of hard for him to process. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. What I love about his story, and Derek's right, is the fact that it's a chance for him to kind of tell his story where you go through your whole life being, so and so plus one, and or so and so plus guest, and when you're plus guest or plus one for years, that starts to wear on you.
Right.
And so now it's a chance for him to tell his side of the relationship and kind of be his own person.
When you were the plus one.
That's right. You're the plus one.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And how long have they been together now?
Almost 6 years.
Wow, it's been that long since the last one.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And Derek's the only one in entertainment, so obviously you're getting
that's right.
some very unique.
We had a girl named Rosie who she used to be on. Was it Hot 97? I'm trying to think.
92.3.
92.3. So she was like one of the morning show crew on that show, and now. Basically, what you see in like one of the first few episodes, she gets canned from her job as a radio.
When was she on? Was it recently?
It was like it would have been last year.
Okay.
So she got let go last year when they basically revamped the whole radio show.
Revamped it again,
almost in like that the iHeartRadio kind of way where suddenly they're just playing.
Right.
Playing whatever the
E-Rock told me she was part of Ty Bentley's show.
Oh, she was. Okay.
We knew Ty. We knew Ty. So, wait, you said there's only how many episodes?
There's 20.
Oh, there are 20.
And what they're doing is really cool because I'm a massive binge viewer, as I know you guys are. It's like it's
the only way to watch TV these days.
It's like House of Cards came out. I was like in my hotel room for like a week straight, just like watching as many episodes as I could every night.
Right.
And what they're doing with this show is they're doing what I like to call like batch binging, where rather than launching 20 at once, they're launching 4 a week. So they're trying to create this same mentality of people will talk about it over the course of the week, and then they'll get 4 more, and then 4 more. So
they're trying to orange the new blackest, but like tighter
bits at a time. That's right.
Do you need AOL for this?
Do you need AOL to do the show?
No, to watch it.
Oh, to watch it. Well, luckily, if you got a computer, you can go on it. So anywhere you can.
Oh, that's true too.
So
I keep forgetting that you don't have to pay for AOL.
There's no
anymore.
subscription. No, there's no subscription, and they're doing it on Roku. It'll be on Apple TV. So if any type of over-the-top channel, you'll be able to get it, which is great.
AOL
it's awesome.
It's weird. AOL is still around. It's strange to me.
I was having this whole conversation
it's
about.
So strange.
Remember when they gave those discs away to log on to the internet?
Dial-up, and it took forever.
You've got mail.
I saved those until last year. I'm such a fucking asshole.
You probably have some good stuff on there.
No, I mean the actual discs, like in case I ever needed to reload AOL, like it's fucking 1984. What a creep.
In case everything like breaks down.
Yeah, we have to start over. Yeah, I've got 3.0.
This is not the apocalypse, but I still got all my
my
AOL discs.
Whenever you get someone's email address and it's AOL, you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I know. What are you doing?
What year is it? What year is it again? Yeah.
Would you just get rid of your Hotmail?
Right. It's so strange. But I mean, they're doing things like this. So
that's right. I'm all for it.
They're reinventing themselves.
I'm gonna have to bring back my AOL address just to get old school. It's a throwback.
God, yeah. I hope I don't pay for AOL anymore.
I think I still do.
I remember that I tried to cancel the service and they just would not let me.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
They just will not let you.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? When do we get to the point where you just cancel it? Why am I still talking to you about this? And then you get your bill and they're still charging you.
Yeah, I remember when that was the big deal.
And then you find out that you didn't do it properly or something. You had to do it this way.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah, it's hard to remember that they actually used to charge for that. And then when Hotmail came out, it was like, no, it's free mail. And everybody's like, ooh,
yeah, exactly.
Free mail. That's incredible.
Amazing.
So, Derek, what are you doing now? I mean, you got this show. Are you on the road, or are you just staying in the
I
city?
am. Well, what I'm doing now is I got this show coming out, so I'm doing press for that. I have another show on MTV called Broke Ass Game Show, and the season finale of that happened last week. So that's gaining some traction. And I'm doing a lot of spots in New York now, so I'm just doing a lot.
Me and Derek are doing The Stand Friday night.
Exactly.
New York City.
Yeah.
And Broke Ass Game Show is similar to what you used to do back in the day. That's how we met, Morgan.
I bet you will. Yeah, it's the new MTV
a new version of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, wait, okay. And we liked it back in the day. That's how we met with.
That's how you stay
Morgan.
relevant with younger people. You do MTV. That's what I need, an MTV show. The older gentleman guiding the young women.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jimmy
I
would
watch
like
that show.
Yeah.
Should follow Jimmy's life. Are you kidding me?
Nah, it's too. You better off following someone that's coming through a different. That to me is more interesting. My stuff is too redundant. In all honesty, like I'm fucking here. I do a spot. I'm here. I do a spot. Someone coming up and kind of getting to these clubs and doing a show. I think it's just a more interesting take.
Well, the doorbell rings too in there as well.
Yeah.
What's that?
You don't know if the person answering your door has got a penis or not.
That's true. Oh
On a
no, I
date.
know.
You know what I mean? So that's a good
The
episode.
best part would be watching me try to pretend I don't know. Gee, what a shock!
What is you have a bulge? Who wants that?
Oh my God! Who would have known that unless they didn't read your ad twice? Welcome. But no, people, one entertainer is really good, but the rest of it, I think it's good to have like people who have traditional jobs because there's so much attention paid to comedians and to actors. You take one guy who's doing that, and then the other mix. I think is interesting.
Yeah, it's good balance.
Yeah,
Really good balance. It's
Because
a
I know-
balanced show. Very balanced show.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And when does it start up?
Today. Launches today on AOL Originals. So if
Where
you
was
go
the
to AOL.
premiere?
We had it down at the Tribeca Grand last night.
Oh, cool.
Really
Really
nice.
nice.
I would love to have gone.
It's a nice soiree.
I was working on it. I couldn't.
We don't really check our mail around here
Yes,
often.
I'm sorry. I
I'm
sent
sure.
you guys the invites. I don't know what happened.
I'm sure we're going to find them tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah,
We really
I'm
should check our mail on a regular basis around here.
Yeah, that was
Hell,
good.
Morgan, we've only known you for 15 years. How about we step up this relationship a little bit?
That's funny.
Exactly. You're one of the most prolific guys. You always have something different. You're like guys like Bourdain, Mike Rowe. You always have something that is kind of new, and it's either like you just people give you things that they want you to do, or you create them.
Yeah, all three of you guys I love, man. Great hires.
No, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
But it makes me feel worthless. Like it really does. Yeah. Because you feel like I'm doing the same thing all the time, and this guy's always got a new project. I respect that.
Yeah, as a
work.
kid, I watched Super Size Me, and it was like, yo, this dude got sick.
Yeah.
He got sick and fat for us to understand this motherfucker's dedicated. Like, it's dope.
Sacrifice the body. That's rule number one. Sacrifice the body.
Now he's drinking whiskey.
And now I'm drinking,
on a Monday night.
On a Monday night.
That's a nice life you got there, Morgan.
For the kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that is funny. He does this healthy documentary, and then he's like fucking pounding whiskey the night before he has morning radio.
I did stop around 12, just so I could make sure I got here.
You sneak out.
That's right, yeah.
Pull one of those moves.
I totally pulled an Irish exit last night.
Yeah.
I did.
I need a documentary. Every time you come in, you turn us on to a new one.
Did you see the Alex Gibney Scientology doc that was just on HBO?
Everyone
Going
is saying,
clear?
why haven't you watched that yet?
Yeah,
You and
why-
Jimmy
why-
would have a
why
field
haven't you-
day.
Why haven't you watched that yet?
Okay, that's the one. All right.
That is. I saw it at Sundance when it premiered, and it's spectacular. It's so
I'll watch
good.
that tonight.
Yeah,
I found a website called Documentary Heaven or docheaven.com that has a million documentaries. Very nice. Any other ones out there you like?
What else did I saw a bunch of good ones at Sundance. The Kurt Cobain doc that's gonna be coming out later
Saw
this
it.
year is fantastic.
Loved it.
It's great.
Loved it. The home footage of him nodding out. I've never seen that before. We all knew he was a junkie, but to actually see it at his daughter's first birthday party,
incredible.
Where Courtney Love's trying to keep them focused as they're opening presents. Everyone has done that. The circle of family with your 1-year-old, and he's nodding out.
Yeah,
and then he wanders off, and then she follows him outside, and he's like barely standing. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, he was a mess.
Wow.
Yeah, it's such a good film. And Brett Morgan, he's just a fantastic filmmaker. I mean,
He's coming in a couple weeks to promote it.
He killed that movie. It's so great.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The music they used was great. And
it's really well done.
Right.
The Scientology document, I heard they had the Travolta's handler, the guy who I guess took care of him, and there was some guy that was there for 29 years. I've heard really good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you watch it and you're just like dumbfounded.
Right.
Like, you watch it and you're like, how did this happen? The amazing thing that I learned after that film is that there are less than 50,000 Scientologists in the whole world. Like, there's less than $50,000, but they have like a net worth, a global net worth of like $3.5 billion.
They're very smart, right? Didn't they owe the IRS a lot of money, or the IRS was asking them?
That's right, and they were fighting for the tax exemption status to become basically essentially a church,
religion, yeah,
and a religion, and they got it. And so then they basically were able to, like, the government forgave the hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes that they owed.
Because they had all their people sue, I think, and like they're not dumb people at all.
Oh no, they're really litigious. They'll
And
go
all
after
those guys suing the IRS in all these different states, I'm sure.
Right.
I think it's literally, if you're thinking about it, if one guy wins, that's a precedent.
Sure.
That could be a major problem. So I think the government just threw their hands up and went, all right, fuck it.
That's right. They wanted nothing to do with it.
Which kind of makes you like Scientology. Anyone that can stick it in the government's ass, you kind of got to enjoy that too.
There was an article that said it might affect Tom Cruise's career. This whole thing, you think it might?
Well, I mean, you watch this movie and the stories. I don't want to ruin it for people who are listening who haven't seen it, or you guys, but it's like the stuff that comes out over the courses, because like it's almost like the whole back third of the film is all about like Travolta and Cruise and these big celebrities who just basically turn a blind eye to the abuse that's going on in the church.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
It's great. It is.
I don't know why I haven't yet, but
yeah,
I'm definitely going to watch that one.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Gibney, who is, I think, one of the greatest working documentary filmmakers today. I mean, the guy, he unseated a pope with Mia Maxima Culpa. You know, Mia Maxima Culpa.
Oh, is he the one that did that? And he was in, was it Ratzenberg? His name
Ratzenberg,
was?
that's right.
When he was in charge of all the fucking sex abuse,
and he was the guy who basically oversaw all the sex abuse when it was happening within the church. And so this guy became pope, and he basically got him to step down as pope when this happened. And now he made this incredible film.
I didn't realize he was the same one. It was about the guy confronting priests who had abused him or something.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, wow.
At a deaf congregation up in Milwaukee. So it was these deaf kids who these priests were having sexual relations with. I mean, it is one of the most fucked up movies you'll ever see. It's so good though. Mia Maxima Culpa, it's awesome.
And he goes back and confronts the last guy or
That's
something.
right.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch, but it's like it's a brilliant movie. And so he won an Emmy for that, and I mean he'll be nominated for an Oscar for the Scientology movie. It's great.
And that was what got that awful, because he really was hateable, that Pope. I thought he was awful. Benedict, I just thought there was something about his face and his dumb shoes.
His ruby red shoes.
Couldn't
His
stand
ruby
him.
red shoes.
But is that why he stepped down?
Like home.
You've never seen
There's no place like home.
You've seen the picture, right?
Oh, I have.
Oh, okay. All right. They were ruby red shoes.
He did. He had ruby slippers.
But you think that's why he stepped down?
Absolutely. I think that in the midst of all this scandal, he was like, "Oh no, I need to like take a break. I'm getting old." And I was like, there was so much coming back to the church. There was so much controversy. I think he had to like get out.
That's deep.
Yeah, he had to get out.
And they kind of just hit him.
Yeah.
You don't see him at all.
You haven't seen
he's
him.
away.
How long was he Pope for? A couple of years?
It was like a few years. There's an amazing story in Mia Maxima Culpa where when all of the controversy was happening, they were finding all these guys, basically they kept identifying as sexual offenders who were priests. They basically bought an island that they were going to send all of these gay priests to. Like they were going to have Gay Priest Island where they were going to send them away. I mean, like the stuff that came out of this movie is remarkable.
You want to talk about heaven?
But that's the Catholic Church. When priests would molest somebody in the parish, they would just send them off to a different state.
Well, they'd send them to another parish.
Yeah.
Suddenly they would become a priest in another parish.
And you wouldn't know where they went or anything like that. Happened in my school and stuff. Yeah, you don't know where they went. You just disappeared.
That was the number one reason why a priest left. He wasn't
filing for bankruptcy.
He wasn't. He wasn't leaving for any other reasons, really.
Yeah.
If your priest was leaving your town, you could
He touched
almost
somebody.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say 90% true. Yes.
That Catholicism, man. That's wild.
Yeah, they've handled it pretty poorly, the whole thing.
Wow.
But you look at Scientology and like the shitty things they've done, but look what Catholicism got away with, and how many Catholic celebrities kind of turned a blind eye to that too.
That's right.
Wow, so there's two I gotta see. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Did you see the Alfred Hitchcock thing on the concentration camps?
I did not. No, I heard it was good though.
Yeah, he got involved with a film, and then they buried the footage for many, many years, and then they finally decided to do something. I think it was on HBO.
Yeah, I heard somebody talking about that.
But you want to talk about graphic footage they had of the
That was the film.
bodies?
Was that the film that Brett Ratner helped put out?
I'm not sure if he actually put it out.
I think so.
What was it called?
I just want to sound like I'm in the know.
Yes.
I think so. I have no idea.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's absolutely correct.
When Night Falls or something? Now I gotta look it up.
Why didn't they release it years ago? Is it too dark?
I don't know why, to be honest with you. They didn't really explain it too much. It was, I think they just moved on with other projects, and that was it. But Hitchcock was actually involved with making a documentary about these concentration camps.
It's like that Jerry Lewis script, the Day the Clown Cried.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that piece of shit, right? Isn't it like there's no copies of that exist?
Well, I think he has a copy at like his place, but I don't think there's anything else. I've got a copy of the script at my office.
How bad is it?
It's you read it and then you're like, it is. There's so much in there that is essentially Life is Beautiful. That is essentially, the guy who's, being a comedian at a concentration camp.
Right.
But his whole thing was like the central character of the story is a clown who's basically leading kids to the gas chamber. Like his thing is he entertains the kids before they go get killed.
Is it a true story of someone, or is it like
I can't
a true?
remember.
Oh,
yeah.
That's some. That sounds twisted
dark.
from where I'm sitting.
what was wrong with it? Was it really that bad? How could it be that bad? I
think
that
it was
sounds like
the
a pretty
time.
interesting
No,
story.
well, I think it was just the time. I think he made this film. I mean, it was early. I feel like it was the 70s he made that movie. And I think it was just,
Wow.
people were like, you can't make this movie right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You don't want to make a movie like that poorly.
No.
Like, look, the laugh track has got to come out. There's something wrong with that.
It might be early. It might even been the 60s. I can't remember when it was.
But I wonder if he's embarrassed by his performance or by the film. Was it too cheesy or was it just too dark? I would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. The Hitchcock thing's called Night Will Fall.
Night Will Fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. I think that is the I think you're right. I think HBO put that
It
up.
was rough, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just showing people just dragging naked bodies into a huge hole, and you can't even figure out how many dead people were in this one hole alone.
Wow.
When they were cleaning up the camps when they finally went in.
Oh.
And then they had the locals march through.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to prove to the locals, look what was fucking happening pretty much 5
Right next
miles
to-
from where you lived.
right next to where your house was,
Because there
yeah.
was a lot of denial, I guess, locally. And the faces, the looks on these people's faces were just brutal. As they're like, holy fuck, really?
Wow.
I don't know.
Talk about non-observant people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
Did
why.
you not notice the busloads of fucking...
I don't know why I watched
People
that
that
one.
people that went in that never came out.
Yeah, what did you think was happening in there? What did you think
Right.
they were just setting up houses and enjoying themselves?
And then just the
idiots.
piles of like the wedding rings, and then they had these huge bundles, like just massive bundles that were filled with hair.
Yeah.
Depending on what hair the person had, they had curly brown hair in this one, they had blonde hair in this one, they had gray hair. It was, and they show them cutting open these huge bundles, and there's just tons of hair just falling out.
Wow.
I don't know why I watched it. I try to avoid that shit.
Now you're in a light mood.
Oh,
One of those
God.
things you watch.
Wow, yeah.
Well, he's the one that turned us on to this movie, Dear Zachary.
One of the best movies.
And to
ever.
this day, people still yell at me. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That movie was brutal.
It's a great-
I loved it, man.
It's great.
It's amazing.
It's a great comedy. I suggest it to anyone. I told you my
Zachary.
manager I got to watch it. I told him it was a comedy. It's
What I
miserable.
tell, if you love Get Hard, you will love Dear Zachary.
It was brutal, man.
Dear
Oh.
Zachary.